Plant Boot Camp. Today we're multiplying and dividing some fractions. You don't have to have a common denominator when you do fractions, which is nice, but you're going to want to put them all as improper fractions, and then later you can readjust, put them back into mixed numbers. So we're going to do numbers 19 and 20 because those are pretty tough problems, and it'll kind of give us everything we need to knock out some of these other ones. So first thing we're going to do is turn 3 1/4 into an improper fraction. So remember, the way you do that is you take the denominator, you multiply it by the big number in front. 4 times 3 is 12, and then you add that to the numerator. So 12 plus 1 would be 13 over 4. Now this 2 right here, I'm just going to make 2 over 1. That's fine if you leave it as regular 2, but when you multiply fractions, you could just go across the numerator and across the denominator, so this will kind of create 2 different sections here. And then 1 5/8, same thing. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 5 is 13 over 8. Now, I would recommend you simplify here if you can, anything you can. So it can come from any numerator and any denominator. So like if I was doing this problem, I would say, well, 2 goes into 2 one time, and 2 goes into 4 2 times. And then if we look at what's in the numerator, 13 doesn't have anything in common with 2 and 8. So we could go ahead and multiply. 13 times 13 is 169. 2 times 8 is 16. Now, we're going to go back into a mixed number. I know that 16 times 10 would give me 160, right? Because that would put a 0 on it. So I know that 16 can go into 169 10 times, and again, that would be 160, so there would be 9 left over, so 9 16ths. You can't simplify 9 over 16, so this would be your final answer. Let's try that again on this one. We're going to put them all as improper fractions. So 10 times 1 is 10, plus 7 is 17 tenths. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 3 is 23 fifths. And then I see division here. We'll handle that in a minute. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5 halves. Now, when you have division with fractions, we actually multiply by the reciprocal. So I'm going to rewrite this. We can keep the 17 over 10 times 23 over 5. But we're going to change this division to multiplication, and we're going to use the reciprocal, which means you flip the fraction upside down. So it'll be 2 over 5. Now again, take anything from any numerator and see if you can simplify it with any denominator. Like 2, I know goes into 10. So 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 10 5 times. 17 and 23 don't have anything in common with 5, so we're kind of ready for our final answer here, or something like it. So if we do, I don't know what 17 times 23 is. 23 times 17. 7 times 3 is 21. 7 times 2 is 14, so 16. Bring in 0. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 2 is 2. So we have 391. That's going to be our numerator. Our denominator is going to be 5 times 5 is 25. Times 5 is 125. Now, 100 would go into 300 3 times. So 3 times 125 would be 375. So we're going to have to do 391 minus 375, which would leave us with 16. So it went in there 3 full times, and then it had 16 leftovers. Great. Those are the hardest too. So try out some of these other ones. Turn them improper, multiply across the numerator and across the denominator, and simplify.